Hi, I'm Jesse, and welcome to part 4 of 4 about collecting artist sketchbooks. I'm an artist myself. I love collecting art and sketchbooks and drawings, and today we're going to be looking at some of my favorite sketchbooks that are sort of miscellany, that don't fit into one of the other categories of people or landscapes or superheroes. And these are just such a diverse mix, even within each one, of interesting drawings about all different topics. This first one is by Evan Dam, and he is such an incredible artist. I have all of his books. He creates these really unique, weird worlds with these populated by these bizarre and tiny creatures, and they're so symbolic and surrealist and just really fascinating. So this is just such fun work and really well known for the coloring and for the just pure imagination of these worlds that are created. Here's a person with a weird TV thing for a head, these cliffs and cities, these characters and monsters. Just fascinating work that all goes into his finished comics. Here's one by Becky Drysdale, and you can see it's in the same series as that last one. A bunch of artists came together and formed this Benign Kingdom, it's called, just this series of books, which are really nice to collect. These are sort of cute little monsters. Cats, squirrels, really fun little pictures, and really nicely done and fully painted. It looks like painted digitally. Really cool little animals, little scenes. A lot of fun. One of the things you can find at a lot of comic conventions are representatives of art schools. So a given art school will have a table at the convention promoting their school, and they'll be giving away or selling works by the students. And you can get a lot of anthologies that way. So here's a sketchbook from Parsons that is just an anthology of a lot of different students working together. So an anthology is always mixed, and that's the fun and the downside of it. You get really cool stuff and really weird stuff, things that are well done and things that are still in progress. And here, this is just one of the most eclectic things I've ever seen. Such a diversity of styles. Clay, 3D, ink sketches, paintings, cut paper style, photographs, watercolor, all sorts of things. This one is called Forma by Brenna Lindblad and is a really nice collection of illustration. This one is a weird mix of stuff, but the amount of detail in a lot of the illustrations is just incredible. Get a lot of character designs and then these complex scenes. Look at the detail here, and the coloring is just great. Sketches side by side with the final work. Really weird and interesting stuff with these strange characters and creatures. This one's a little bit different. This is called Whereabouts by Scott Altman, and is sort of finished illustrations of sort of book cover style illustrations. Really nice work. These book illustrations are really sort of formal and finished and fully realized, robust paintings that are just showcased really nicely here. I almost want to see them much bigger, but it's nice to have them in this format. And you can see they're from all different stories. Here's King Arthur, Grimm fairy tales, all sorts of things. This really cute book is called Freckles by Victoria Ying, and is a really nice, solid hardcover, beautifully designed. In this one, I got a really nice little drawing in the front here and signature. And this is a great mix of different sort of animated work, stylized work, character designs, background paintings, the pencil sketches from the character turnarounds and designs, some sort of comic strips, illustrations, full finished illustrations in a stylized animated cartoon way. Here's another anthology, The Boulevard, sketchbook from 5 different artists working together, so you get a really diverse mix of styles. So because this is 5 different people, you have quite a mix of different things here. And look at this collage, how many things put onto the page and a description of it. It's really cool to see this sort of creativity. Some comic book characters, different story characters. Here's a page of different animal sketches, comic book samples, portraits and drawings of different TV and movie stars. All in black and white, but a real range of marker versus pencil versus charcoal versus finished inked, and just some really cool sketches in all different styles. Here's another one in the Benign Kingdom series by Dustin Harbin. And you have some landscapes, but also some really interesting, bizarre, diverse stuff. This is one of the nicest covers I've ever seen, just of this beautiful landscape. And such a range of different illustrations here. Someone playing the drums. Here's actual pages photographed from sketchbooks. And more finished illustrations. This whole sort of world that was built of a forest. It's very cool. And here's, I think, Carl Sagan in an astronaut suit. And then here's a scene of people sketching. Stylized little vignettes, little scenes. Here's a book by Gabbo. And this is just really weird, stylized, bizarre, monster type, creative, interesting stuff in a range of styles. This is one of the most diverse and eclectic that I've seen. Just such a range of different things. Here's a robot and different scenes with aliens, and then watercolors, just a normal street building, but then frog people, and weird tanks driven by bunnies, and sketches of ordinary people in everyday life, and a cactus person. Obviously, you need to have a cactus person in there. Here's another series that I have with a whole lot of different books in it, but this sketchbook, this particular one is by Vatine, and I think the series is European, and it's really nicely done. This one has an interesting mix. There's a lot of women and a lot of animals and gorillas. Here's a wolf, dinosaurs, and backgrounds drawn. More women, this time with cars, a lot of cars drawn. You don't see that very often. Cars are hard to draw, honestly. Sort of historical characters, robots. What a mix. This is one of the heftier books that I have. This is Chris Schweitzer, and it's huge. It's just a really big book and really thick, with a lot of stuff in it. This is one of the most densely packed sketchbooks I've ever seen, which is ironic because the cover is so sparse, but every page just has tons of little drawings. Comic panels, portraits and sketches and caricatures. Just a real lesson in how to draw anything. Aliens and monsters. A lot of historical scenes. Just a lot jam-packed into here. And then getting away from sort of the comic artists and that sort of world, totally different world, you can collect books from shows, from fine art shows, or even from auction houses. And this one was from the American Watercolor Society and is a series of collections of a show of all different artists' watercolors. You can see these works. They're a little small, but absolutely gorgeous, really pushing the limits of what watercolor can do as a medium. Some of these you would not imagine were watercolor. And showing which won awards. The winners, I think, in the front are reproduced larger. And it's just really incredible work. This is a little comic done by a friend of ours, Alyssa Harris, and is in the style of a little sketchbook and is a sort of sketch-like collection of drawings. This one is just so cute and has such charm as a handmade object, with the cats, with different sort of jokes of the cats getting into different adventures. A lot of fun, and this is the 4th book in a series. Here's a neat way to do a sketchbook. These are a series of postcards by James Jean, or James John, who was the cover artist for Fables and is a very well-known artist of sort of this fantasy work, and they're really beautiful, but you get this really nice package. This is a fascinating sort of package because they're postcards, and unboxing it is so much fun, and you get to see these different fully realized illustrations as well as some sketches that are just really cool and strange in these sort of bizarre, interesting worlds. This one, Kraken, is a handmade book that folds out and is really, really cool. And you can see it's a limited edition, 39 out of 50. And it's just a really strange and neat thing to have in my collection. I'm really excited to have found it. Okay, this is crazy. Are you ready? Look at the printing. They use these sort of neon fluorescent inks and just created this really cool thing. And then on the back is this pattern with these squids. It's just such a creative idea and so cool. And then lastly, I left one of my favorite and weirdest ones for last. This is Come Away With Me, The Art of Karen Hallion. And it's all drawings of Disney princesses interacting with Doctor Who's TARDIS, which is this phone booth here. And that's it. That's the theme. And this is just such a weird idea. It's so weird that I love it. Having these Disney princesses on every page interact with Doctor Who's TARDIS. I don't get it, but I love it. It's just so cool. The drawings are great. They show the original sketches. Really creative. Snow White it's so strange. And so much is in here. I love it. I think it's great. And that's a lot of what you can find with sketchbooks, with collecting these sort of artifacts that they create. Just such a range of diverse and interesting things. And I love finding special, rare, interesting, bizarre works of art that I can collect. So I hope you enjoyed this tour of sketchbooks. And be sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you here soon to go through some more books. Thanks so much.